Hello everyone and welcome back to IMO Reviews, and today we are discussing the new video game, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 for the Emperor. There isn't going to be much of a synopsis on this one because I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't know anything about Warhammer, until playing this game that is anyway. Warhammer 40,000 is a tabletop miniature game where you collect these little very highly detailed miniatures and paint them yourselves, and I believe based on dice rolls you select their movement and their attack power against other players. I think that's right. I'm sure there'll be someone in the comment section correcting me very quickly. And Space Marine 2 is a video game based in that universe, following Titus of the Ultramarines, and he is leading a small assault team against the alien Tyrannid scum. It's super soldiers shooting up a ton of aliens, basically. I took a sheer chance on this based on the fact that I thought it looked stunning. I saw the trailer, I thought it looked great. It looked immersive, it looked imaginative, it looked creative, enjoyable, fun, gory, and even with a hint of Gears of War in there. And anybody who knows me well knows I spent many an hour of my teenage years on Gears of War. So I couldn't help but be morbidly curious, and I'm really glad that I was. Let's dive into the positives. First of all, the trailer wasn't kidding. This is a stunning game. Both in cutscenes and in play, the graphics are sensational. Even small details like lighting and shadows when you're walking through a cave and your character turns, watching that lighting shift and jolt in strange manners across the dents of your armour. It just really pushed the immersion that step further. I couldn't take my eyes off it at times, especially in some of those insane sci-fi backgrounds that you're going to get. I actually stopped paying attention to what was around me because they were that jaw-dropping at times. I also have to praise the game for its accessibility. Like I said, I know nothing about this, and yet I was absolutely able to follow. Okay, sure, the odd cameo and the odd line maybe went over my head because I didn't know who they were referring to or quite what that was yet. But like I say, they managed to boil it down to essentially being super soldiers versus aliens in space. It's not that hard to follow, really, and it actually was quite enjoyable and made me want to know more. As you discover how these Marines work and their ranks and their chapters and their roles of chaplain and captain and all the rest, it all added to the world building and made me care more and made me more curious to find out stuff. I also really enjoyed the challenge and the difficulty of the game. There are some games out there that they are just too easy. They're monotonously easy. You're barely paying attention, you're just button mashing to get through it and it's done. You're probably, I don't know, making a sandwich with this hand while you just smash this button with that hand. It's absolutely nothing. It's the smallest sense of interaction a game could possibly offer you. Or you go to the complete other extreme where you've got your Dark Souls and your Elden Rings, where the game is just suffering and torture and death upon death, and after about 2 hours you're still on the second mission and you're just thinking about giving up at this stage. Space Marine 2, gladly, was somewhere right in the middle, at least for me. I played it on normal difficulty and I thought that was just fine. Because here I am now having completed the story, so it wasn't too difficult for me to get through. I never felt the need to lower it down to easy, but I'm not going to lie, died quite a lot. Did take me some time to get there, especially in the operations mode where there's no checkpoints, and if you die you go straight back to the very beginning. But I did enjoy that challenge. It wasn't enough to make me get angry or give up. It just kind of made me encouraged to try again, do it better. Where did I go wrong? And I noticed myself becoming a better player. As the enemy waves got harder and bigger and stronger, I did start to try and be a bit more resourceful and smashing boxes to find an armor boost or a guardian relic. I also enjoyed the different game modes. I like the fact that you have your main story, which is a pretty decent length, I feel. Could have been a little bit longer, but I'm okay with it. But you also have operations mode, which is essentially the same main story, but you are the B-side this time. You are a different assault team in the same location, performing the same mission, but you're doing the other jobs that directly play into that main story. I thought that was kind of genius, to be honest. I like the leveling up system too. I like that there was some freedom to it. Yes, you can upgrade Titus, the main character, through the main story. It's a little bit more limited though, but your own character in operations mode, not only can you pick what type you want to be, tactical, heavy, sniper, you can change it. You're not fitted to one and that's it. In fact, you're encouraged to try as many as you like. You can edit your armor, you can edit the color of your armor, you can change the sigils that you have on the armor. But unfortunately, I do have one pretty big complaint with this game. I do unfortunately think the game lacks a pinch of variety. Now, in that first mission where you are Titus and you first get attacked by hundreds of thousands of aliens coming at you from every angle, it's jaw-dropping and you're on the edge of your seat and you're panicking slightly because you're not used to this yet and you don't know how you're going to get through it. But by level 6, yeah, you start to look back and realise that that's pretty much what every level of this game has been. Walk through a very pretty sci-fi landscape and wait for hundreds of thousands of aliens to come and attack you, and then when you've killed them all, you can continue walking through your pretty sci-fi landscape until they attack you again, and it's just that over and over and over, occasionally topped off with a boss on the end. It just started to get very repetitive after a while and lost its edge. And that variety issue still spills into the weapons themselves. There's probably about 15 weapons, maybe, ballpark 13 if not. And I did try pretty much all of them, but I've got to be honest, it didn't take long for me to realise that I'm mostly just going to rotate between 3. Because of the way the attacks are in this game, it just renders several of the weapons to be completely useless. I gave the sniper rifle a try for about 2 minutes and very quickly threw it away and never touched it again. I didn't ever find a need for the sniper rifle in this game because, like I said, there are hundreds of thousands of aliens running towards you, surrounding you from all angles. There's very little protection in this game. You can very rarely get distance between yourself and the enemy. What is the use of a single firing, long reloading sniper rifle in that situation? For me, in my opinion, the only weapons you're really going to need is the heavy assault rifle, just spray and run and really put some lead in them, or the plasma incinerator, which to some degree it basically just works as a fast reloading shotgun. I feel like they could have taken a leaf out of the Gears of War book on this one. In Gears of War, when you're presented with a very specific weapon like a sniper rifle, it's like the game's very subtle way of nudging you and letting you know you're probably going to need a sniper rifle, pick it up while it's here, and thus unfolds a very elaborate level design where the bridge has collapsed and the best you can do is pick them off with a sniper rifle with some very pleasing headshots. Whereas in Space Marine 2, it just sort of threw weapons at you. You just walk past and be like, oh, that's a new one that I've not seen before. I'll give it a go. And then you carry on with the level only to realise that that was the worst possible weapon you could have picked up. Like, it has no purpose whatsoever and you immediately need to get rid of it for something better that's going to deal with this situation. But ultimately, despite that pretty big complaint that I had, I found this immersive, enjoyable, refreshing and imaginative as well. If you're into Warhammer, you're probably already playing this, but definitely check it out. You're going to absolutely love it. And if you're like me and you know nothing about Warhammer, well, I can speak for you. You're not going to be lost. You can very easily find your feet here. And in fact, I think you'll find yourself morbidly curious to know more. And that's probably the biggest praise that I can give Space Marine 2, because I'm not saying that this is right, but when I was a kid, Warhammer, Space Marine, liking this is the sort of thing that probably would have got you bullied at school. Like I said, I don't agree with that. I'm just saying that's how the jungle of life works sometimes. And I have to admit, it's just really bloody nice and lovely to see everyday people that have no interest in this sort of thing giving it a go and finding themselves to actually enjoy it. Giving those nerds from back in the day a little bit of coolness and respect. Good for you. I'm going to give Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 a 9 out of 10. I really do think if they had just fixed up those little issues I had with the variety of the guns and the level design, I would be giving this a 10 out of 10. I'm really recommending this to you. It's been great fun. Thank you for watching this review. Please be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and please do hit the comment section as well. Have you played Space Marine 2? Do you like Warhammer? Don't you? Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, if you haven't had enough of this crazy ginger, well, you can always click on these suggested videos right here and get yourself lost in an IMO wormhole. But if not, take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.